I had another commander with the radar company, and he was the company commander. I was the XO. Our readiness rating was terrible. The radars were notorious for not working. A normal readiness rating for a unit needs to be in the 80% or more better to be considered functional. We were in the 30s and 40s. The radars were always broken, which means we could not deploy. I don't know if the company commander really had a way to fix it, because he was fairly new to it as well too, but as the executive officer, my job was maintenance. And he just said, run with it. Whatever you can do, run with it, try it, do it. I give you carte blanche. And that was trust, learning that somebody would trust me to fix the biggest problem that he had, because obviously he has 1,000 other things that he has to work on as well too. And with radars, you're working with a warrant officer who's in charge of each specific radar battery. Warrant officers are notorious for not playing well with others, being kind of their own world. You have the enlisted ranks that do all the work. The warrant officers are somewhere in between, and the officers are in charge of everybody. And the dynamic in this battery was each of these warrant officers was always complaining about a certain aspect of the battery that they used to do in their prior career. So I had one warrant officer, who was the maintenance guy. He was he ran the maintenance program for a long time. I had another warrant officer who did logistics. I had another so they all had these special things, like one did the personnel, and they all had these complaints, and they were always attacking the enlisted in these things with complaints. Now, they were true complaints. They were real complaints. They were accurate, but these guys felt that they didn't have the authority to do anything. So I pulled these 4 guys together in a room, and I said, look, what we're going to try for the next 3 months is I'm going to put you guys in charge of fixing the areas that you have your expertise in. We are just going to change everything. We're going to sit down and we're going to do this. 2 out of 3 were okay with it at the beginning, or 2 out of 4 were okay. The third one came on, and we ended up getting all 4. The end result of this is that battery went from a non-functional battery after 3 months to a functional battery. They continued it on through the entire time. And we actually won the Small Unit Maintenance Award for Germany. And we took every vehicle that we had and moved it from point A to point B by pulling out the rust, filling in the rust, painting it. This was like a 1.5-month activity where every single vehicle was completely redone. We had holes in the floors in these vehicles. They were so old. I mean, that's kind of the way that the military was. We still have the old Gamma Goats and things like that, and the old 5-ton trucks, none of the new stuff. But the biggest change, which the NCOs, or the enlisted, hated, was in a specific radar unit, which was 3 to 4 vehicles and trailers and things like that. If one of those 4 vehicles went down for some reason, the entire unit was down. And you would have a trailer broken in one, the radar broken in the other, the Jeep broken in the other. And I said, if we want to keep our readiness rating, we have to switch vehicles to keep them going. Now, there was a big argument with this because you're signing over vehicles, signing back and forth, and it was a big issue. But we did that, and it kept our readiness rating up. And then we just had a better focus on tracking parts. The big problem with radars were diodes, and the diodes were never in country yet enough. a level. So we actually changed the TO&E to get that done. And I was tracking the diodes that were manufactured somewhere in America to Dover as they came into Dover. When they came into Baumholder, that we would go pick them up that day, and all these things that we learned to do to keep ourselves ready. Because from my earlier conversation, war could start tomorrow. And if we weren't functional, we couldn't go. And that was the change that I brought to this unit.